Hello, all my fellow Minecraft enthusiasts, I'm Mcnerd, and welcome back to the recreation of Scala Ad Caelum from Kingdom Hearts. Today we will be building the basic structure of the entire explorable area that we see within Kingdom Hearts 3. This includes the stairway to the sky, the Breezy Quarter, and the top of the tower, including the inside that is only seen within cutscenes. I started with the front half of the stairway to the sky section, building the front courtyard, followed by the pier that first introduces us to the world. This section of the world is definitely the most identifiable, so I wanted to get it perfect. Luckily, I have already made this section more than 3 times now. First on a flat world, then on a family server, and once again on a flat world after accidentally deleting the original. Now, one of the hardest parts of this project is determining height. I decided on a size for the square houses based on how large they look, as well as using Sora's walking speed in conjunction with Steve's shifting speed. This is also the way I determined the length of the pier. I decided the size of the rest of the entire build based on these measurements in conjunction with the scale of the minimap. But with the height, there's no reliable way to measure it accurately. So I decided to build the houses with internal usability in mind. Not that I'm building insides to the buildings. I will do basic flooring for the first few, but I want to get the basics done before going back and adding all the repetitive decorations, as well as the parts of the town we don't get to see, including the insides of the buildings. For now, I simply want the buildings and features that make the full shape of the island. With that being said, I wanted at least to get the basic pathway details, the grass and the white borders between. Now, in Kingdom Hearts, the white borders are only about the width of the Minecraft trap door. However, it's impossible to get such small detail in Minecraft without mods, so I made the borders a full block. The alternative would have been having no border at all, which made the whole thing look flat and bland. In the original game, there's a little ribbon thing flowing through the stones of the path. I'm not going to be dealing with these just yet. All the buildings are ever so slightly different sizes, but since this is Minecraft, they all get simplified to be a base of 9 blocks. The square houses are 9 blocks. The minus a corner houses are also a base of 9, minus a 4/5 rectangle on the corner. Finally, the large buildings are simply 2 9x9 buildings stitched together, making it a 9x18. By now, I'm sure you've noticed the strange cuts. These are due to the fact that this video is actually 29 videos spliced together wearing a trench coat to fool you. But with over 66 hours on this project, I'm glad that I didn't do it all in one sitting. Plus, having time between recording sessions means that I can log back onto Kingdom Hearts in order to figure out how to make this more accurate. I mention this because the section I'm currently working on is entirely different than how I thought it was, meaning I saved myself a lot of headache later by taking a break and checking the source. With the front half of the Stairway to the Sky section finished, we have dealt with almost every different house type that can be found in the explorable areas, meaning we can simply copy-paste our work all over the place instead of taking the grueling time to build every single building by hand, as you'll start to see me do throughout the rest of the video. But for right now, the top right courtyard is complete, meaning the rest of this section is going to get very steep. I head back down to this back alley-ish part and make the first version of my personal favorite house type Scala has to offer. This square house with a large garage door wall like front that I personally hope opens up completely to have an open front for nice days. I then went back and filled in all the buildings I had skipped. It probably would have taken less time if I knew how to use the creative mode structure blocks, but I don't, so I didn't. Keep in mind that I have been playing Minecraft since 1.6 originally came out, and I pretty much stopped following the updates after 1.8. I have my reasons for doing so, but every time I try to explain it, I just end up confusing the person I'm talking to. So let's leave it at I prefer 1.8, and I'm coming out of my shell for this mega project. The different parts of the Stairway to the Sky section have different color stone pathways. Unfortunately, not all of them have very good counterparts within Minecraft. The first section was simple, light blue stones, prismarine, no brainer. The second section was a little harder to decide. Eventually I ended on endstone. It's not quite what I wanted, but it's closer than any of the other blocks I could think of. For the upper section, that is a greener blue than below. Since prismarine has 4 different stages that it changes between, I started with prismarine, but then I changed it to be melon blocks after thinking about it for a long time. Even now, I'm not 100% certain on what block would work best here, but I accepted it and moved on with my life. Then, the highest section has purple stones, so I instantly went for the amethyst blocks. I then placed in the final few buildings still remaining, most of which were the ones that followed the outside wall, meaning they would not be a simple copy-paste and move on. My final goal for this project is to have a completed map that would be used for the ultimate game of Minecraft hide and seek. Cause who wouldn't want to search for their best friend in a deserted man-made island? Oh wait. I want the entire island to be accessible by the players, guaranteeing hours of fun for the entire crew. Once this small section of buildings is done, we will be moving on to the Breezy Quarter. Which is great, because the Breezy Quarter is my favorite part of Scala so far. As I said last video, I had to majorly change some parts of the Breezy Quarter due to this strange angle. The buildings right out of the gate are built to the flat angle. I know that they should be following the wall, but my retort to this is, I don't care. A lot of the Breezy Quarter is going to have strangely shaped sections, so I want to get as much flat section as possible. This slightly raised area has the same purple stones as the Stairway to the Sky, so I simply used amethyst again. The higher raised section behind it was a lot closer than it is in the actual game, but I made do with what I already planned. The next big part to tackle was the front courtyard of this section. In-game, this looks like it is just sandstones, but the sandstone in Minecraft is smooth on the top. Endstone looks no better, so eventually I decided that the best way to handle this would be to use the new block of iron ore. It was a darker brown, but it looked better than anything else I could think of. I then went back to the houses that were on the left side when entering the Breezy Quarter. Once again, these were simple copy-pastes, and they would be the last ones for a while. Because the majority of the quarter is at an angle, I would end up building most of it by hand. The Breezy Quarter uses the exact same houses from the Stairway to the Sky section, with one exception: they are much taller. I decided to keep my buildings the same height, with exception to the ones that I built directly from the game. I then moved on to my favorite section of the Breezy Quarter: the underground houses. It's not exactly as it is in game, but again, I have to make do with my inaccurate portrayal. The buildings in this angle are only on a 7-block base in order to stay true to the original scale. It's at this point that I'd like to say I've already said everything that really needs said about this project, so I'd just be rambling if I kept talking. So I'm just gonna leave and let you enjoy the rest of the build process. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. See ya.